Okay. Hope you ready for new chapter. Okay, before I proceed, just want to remind you, this Friday, 3rd June, 8 p.m., okay, 8 malam, we're going to have test, okay. So make sure you log into Kalam and make sure you stand by for the test, okay. The question will be uploaded in Kalam, okay, and then you must download that question and read carefully and write according, and then after that submit your code, okay, file.py into Kalam, okay. You are given 3 hours to complete that test, okay. The chapters until chapter 7, which is functions, okay class, boleh?
Boleh Doktor.
Okay.
Boleh.
How about others? Okay. Nurul Ain, Aiman, Kamil, okay. Chong Jin Ming,
Okey Doktor.
okay Gan Wei Jin,
Okay, Doktor.
okay. Okay. So for today, I'm going to explain another chapter, which is chapter 9, file operation. Okay, file operation is basically very simple. Very simple apa? Very simple chapter lah. Okay. It's not really tough. This chapter is straight to the point. Okay. So, in this chapter, you're going to understand file input and output operation. And after that, you able to use the file operation techniques in writing and extracting input and output data. Okay. Okay, these are the tutorial that you can refer to if you want to know more about the file operation. Okay, as introduction, file is a place to store information permanently. Okay, normally we want to write our data into file. Okay. Okay, so before this, if you have like this, right, you have this is example of the coding. You ask user to enter number of students, and then you have the metric ID in array, which is 1D array, and then after that, user input the metric ID into this variable. Okay, so this is your output. You ask user to enter how many students, metric ID, metric ID. Okay. So basically, before this one will be stored in your memory like this. Okay. So once you close that coding and you rerun that coding, this data will be deleted. Okay. Sebelum ni kan macam tu kan? Betul tak kelas? So if you want to ask user to enter another metric, awak perlu rerun dan data sebelumnya hilang. Betul tak kelas?
Betul Doktor.
Okay, so now we want to store this data. The data that have been entered by user, you can store it in a file. Okay, so you want to make the data permanent. Okay, so you can store in a file. Okay, so in this chapter, we're going to do this part. Okay, we will store the data that have been entered by user into a file. Okay, so it's very easy, straight to the point. Okay. Okay, how to store the data into a file? Okay, there are a few steps. There are 3 steps. The first step is you must open file. Open file means you need to create variable for file processing. Okay, for example, you create variable name FP. Okay, FP here means that the variable name for file processing. That's why I put FP, file processing. You can put any name that you want because this one is variable. Okay, and then the second one in the first step, you create file name. Okay, for example here, I create file name. Okay, the syntax to create file name is like this. You must have open. Okay, open is a function. Open here is a function to create file name, followed by bracket. Okay, followed by this quote, and then your file name. Example, I put here, my file name is studentmark.txt. .txt means that my student mark file is txt, text file. The data type is text file. Okay, the file type is text file. Okay, and then comma followed by another quote. Let's say here I put W. Okay, W means that I want to write. I want to write data into this file, into student mark file. Okay. Okay, so here, okay, I give to you the description here. The file name is student mark. The type is txt, which is text. W is file mode. Okay, file mode W means that we want to write data into that file. Okay. Okay, this is the first step. First step, you need to open the file. Okay. Second step is you must close the file. Once you open, you must close it. Okay. So normally, close file will be done at the end of our coding. Okay. So we use to close the open file at the end of the program. You use this one, FP, which is our variable for file processing. Dot close. Okay, dot close. Close is a function to close the file. Dot close. This is the syntax. Variable for file processing. Dot close. Okay. Okay, this is second step. The third step is we can write the file. Okay, we can write the data into the file. Okay, how to write? Just use this statement. FP, which is variable for file processing, dot, and followed by write. Write is a function to write the data into a file. Okay, this is example. We have FP, we want to open the file. FP equal to open studentmark.txt. The mode of this file is W, which is we want to write. Okay, and then here we have fp.close. We will close that file. And then here is our file statement. Okay, so here you can say that this is similar as previous example. We ask user how many number of student, and we have the matrix ID in array, 1D array. And then here, okay, before this, you have this looping in normal output. Okay, however, now here, instead of we just write that input into this variable, now we want to write that input or that data into the file. Okay, so we just add this one, fp.write bracket, and here is our variable. Okay, is our variable that we want to write. The means that in this variable we have data. Okay, we have data of matrix ID, and we will write that matrix ID into our file. Okay, okay class, understand so far?
Yes, Doctor.
Okay, it's very easy. You just add the file function there. Okay, write to file function. Okay, this is an introduction. This is example. When you write this one, KA19 blah blah blah, KAA20765. If you write into file, it will return into file like this. Okay, okay, because I put that txt, so normally we will open in Notepad. Okay, in Notepad, and then we have this matrix ID. Okay, okay. This is another example. Okay, and then for this one, I put in format txt. However, normally in your case, you always use format CSV. CSV means that Excel. Okay, Excel. Koma apa dia punya nama penuh dia? Koma saya tak ingat. S saya tak ingat. V pun saya tak ingat. Tapi dia ada koma lah kat depan tu. Okay, so this one is normally in Excel. Okay, so here if you see here, I write matrix ID into file, and also I write this one into file as well. Okay. Okay, so this one is still in txt. However, I want to show to you later on in format CSV. Okay. before we go to format CSV, let's us execute this file first, this coding. Okay. This is example. Sekejap bising sikit sebab buka pintu, so little bit bising. Yang ini, okay, before I proceed with this coding, I want to show to you this one first. Okay, this is example. We have fp equal to open course info.txt. The mode is W, means that we're going to write the data into file name course info.txt. And then we have course name equal to computer programming, course ID BAA. Okay, and then this one is full name. We want to have course ID plus with course name here. Okay, here we're going to write this information into our file. Okay, so okay, what we call one tips in using file, you must put the mana ini chapter 8, chapter 9. Okay, we must put your coding, this one, with the file, okay, in the same folder. Okay, don't put in different folder. Put in the same folder your programming file and also your coding file and also your data file in the same folder. Okay, if you notice here in my coding, my file name is courseinfo.txt. Okay, if I go to this folder, I have course info here, courseinfo.txt. Okay, so if I click here, my courseinfo.txt is blank. Okay, there is nothing here. Okay, now when I run this code, okay, so now I already finished running this code. So when I go back to this one, okay, now I have the info here. Okay, means that based on this coding, I write the data into this file. Okay, I write fp.write course info. Okay, this one. Let me enlarge. Okay, so you can see here, I write fp.write course info. So I have here course information, fp.write course ID and course name plus full name. Course ID and course name equal to BAA 2012 for computer programming, because it takes from here. It takes from this full name. Okay, this full name. Okay, and then I have here fp.write instructor string instructor ID. So I write instructor here 1455. Okay, based on this one. Okay. Okay, so this is how we write into our file. Very simple. Okay. Now let me show to you this coding. Student mark, this one, okay. Student mark. Mana sekejap ya. Not this one. This one. Okay, so I have here studentmark.txt. We go back to here. We have studentmark.txt in the same folder. Make sure you put in the same folder. Okay, so now let's say I delete first this one. Okay, so now when I have this here, I write my metric ID data into the file fp.write. Okay, and then I write as well this one fp.write assessment row and column. I will write the assessment mark. Okay, so when I run this one, let's say I ask user how many number of students. Let's say I put two number of student. How many number of assessment? Let's say I put 2 as well. And then the metric ID, KA19089, Mark 1, let's say I put 23, Mark 2, 34. Metric ID AA20188. Mark 1 is 21, Mark 2 is 26. Okay. Okay, so now, before this, if we do like this, it will just store here. Okay? It will just store in our memory like this. KA19098, AA20188. Okay? But now, when we do like this, we will write into our file. Okay? See, you can see here. Okay? Instead of just write into our memory or our memory, now we write it into our file. Okay? KA19088 from here, 2334, 2334, AA20188, 2126. Okay? Okay, class. Understand? Understand, class?
Yeah, yes, Doctor.
Yes, Doktor.
Betul? How about others? Class? Okay, if you notice here, sekejap saya kecil dulu. Tak ada soalan? Do you have any question, class? Betul ke faham?
So far okay je, Doctor.
So far dah okey, ya ke? Kejap kita tengok
Boleh tahan lah.
Kejap ya. Kita tunjuk kat sini. What is happening here? Okay, if you see here. Okay. In this part, I write metric ID. So, this is metric ID. Okay, I write metric ID. Metric ID is written based on metric ID row. Okay, so here we have metric ID row. For row 0, it will print or it will write KA19098. So that's why it write here KA19098. Okay, here for this part, I write comma. So that's why we have here comma. Okay, we have comma here and I have here plus. Plus means that after comma followed by. Okay. Plus here means that followed by. Okay. So after this comma followed by assessment, come from here, assessment, row 0, column 0. Row 0, which is this one, 23 and 34. Column 0, which is 23. So that's why here we write 23. Okay? Understand?
Yes.
Okay. And then after that, when we go to the next column here, which is the second column or the index is 1, row maintain 0. Okay. So here, when we write FP write comma. So that's why we have another comma here. Okay. We have another comma followed by assessment row 0, which is still in 23 and 34. However, column is 1. Column 1 is 34. So that's why we print 34 here. Okay? Understand?
Faham, Doctor?
Okay. How about others? Harmendra je faham. Yang lain faham?
Okey, Doktor.
Yes,
Okay.
Doctor.
Okay, next. How about next? Okay, we know that in our looping, once we settle this column, we go to the next row. So that's why we go here for the next row, which is row number 1. Row 1. So we go here, row 1. We will print row 1. Metric ID row 1. Metric ID row 1 is AA20188. So that's why we write AA20188 in our file. Okay? Okay. Next, we go to the nested looping, the inner loop. column starting from 0 again. So here we write FP, right, comma. So that's why here we have comma. Followed by assessment row 1, column 0. Assessment row 1, which is 21 and 26, column 0. Column 0 refer to 21. So that's why we have 21 here. Okay. Done column 0. We proceed to the next column, which is column 1. So here when we write into our file, fp.write, comma. So that's why we have another comma here, followed by assessment row 1, which is 21 and 26, column 1 refer to 26. So that's why we have 26 here. Okay? Okay, class? Faham?
Faham, Doktor?
Okay, faham. So it is very simple. Dia sama macam ni lah. If without file, let me close this one. Okay, let me comment this one. If without file, it will be like this. Undo. Okay, kalau without file, we have like this, right? And then we have input, and then we're going to print. Okay, like this. Okay. Oh, dia dah print assignment kat situ. Sekejap. If without this file, nak letak kat mana Tak dekat luar lah. So here, ini kalau without file, kita akan buat macam ni kan. When we want to display the output, we will do like this. Print metric ID. Mana? Print mark. Koma. Sekejap, saya tu balik. Okay. 2, 25. Okay. So basically it is like this. Okay. But now instead of we have like this, we just automatically write into our file. Okay. The same thing, we just write into our file. Okay. So we just add this one, fp.write. Okay, fp.write. Okay. Okay, class, understand?
Yes, Doktor.
Okay. Next, we move to the next one. Okay, now, the one that I shown to you is in TXT, but normally, we always use data in our Excel. Okay, so in our Excel, we use it as CSV. Okay, the same thing actually. What you can do is, before this, you do like this, studentmark.txt, but now you can use like this, studentmark.csv. Okay, W plus is means that we want to write into file and read from file. Okay, actually there are many file modes. So the one that I showed to you is W. W means that we want to write only into our file. W plus means that we want to write and read. Okay, that's why they put plus here. We want to write the data and also we want to read the data from that file. So that's why we have here W plus. Okay. So in this example, we have FP equal to open studentmark.csv. The mode is W plus. Okay. And then others is same except that here we have fp.write. We're going to write the metric ID into our file and we're going to write the assessment into our file. Okay. And then here, okay, now this is we write. Okay. We write. Okay. This part is we write the data into our file. So that's why we use function write. We use function write. Okay. Now we want to read the data that we have wrote into our data. So how to do it? The first one is you need to reset the head to the first line in the file. So how to reset? You use this one, fp.6 start 0, because it is like this. This is your file. Okay, the cursor or the header lah, the cursor. Okay, when they write here, let's say KA21. Okay, the cursor is here now. Now the cursor is here. When it write another metric, let's say AA22. Okay, the final cursor is here. So now we want to read KA. So when we want to read KA, we must ask the cursor to go to the or reset the head of the file into the first line again. So we reset it to 0 here, to here. Okay, we reset the cursor or head to the line 0 again. So that's why we put here the function fp.seek 0. Okay, so when we want to read that input, we will ask the head to go to the line 0 again. Okay, understand class? So that's why we have this one here. This one only if we want to read. Okay, understand? Understand class?
Yes, doctor.
Okay. So when we point our head into the first line in the file, so this one is nothing. We just want to print this display, and then how to read from file is like this. From file here is the variable. Okay, just variable. Let's say you want to put another name, you can put it. Okay, you can write another name. From file in FP, which is referred to this one. Okay, standard student info equal to from file dot split. We want to split the info here because here we have let's say we have 19, 23. Okay, so means that we want to split that information here based on this comma. Okay, so we want to let the coding know that comma here means that another data. Okay, after this data we have comma, and then after this comma we have another data. Okay, so that's why we put here from file dot split comma. Okay, we want to split our information based on comma in the file. Okay. Okay, and then after that we have our variable, our own variable. We have ID equal to student info 0, Means that for 0, this one is student ID. Quiz equal to student info 1, which is this one. Okay. Test 1 equal to student info 2, which is this one. Okay. If we have many more, we do like this. And then we have test 2 equal to student info 3. So let's say we have another mark here. Let's say 41. So this one is referred to the third one. Okay. And then assignment 4, etc. Okay. And then this one is just to print out. This one I want to print out not inside our file but in our display. Okay. Okay. So basically we're going to print out like this. Okay. We're going to print out our data from our file like this. We have ID, quiz, test 1, test 2, assignment and project. And then we have ID, KA, quiz 8, test 1, 23, test 2, 24, assignment 23, project 37, etc. Okay. Okay, let me debug this one. Or it's not debug, just run this part. Okay. Okay, this is the coding, the same coding. Okay, let me delete this one. Okay, in Excel, even though the data is separated by this column, but actually in coding it will write the column, it will read as comma. Okay. In coding, when it read this Excel file, it will read the separated column based on as a comma. Okay, as a comma. So let's say I delete this one. Okay, now I delete. Okay, now there is no data here. Okay, how many assessment we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there are 5 assessment. Okay, when I run this one, how many students? Let's say I put 2. Assessment is 5. Mark metric ID AA18099. Mark 1 20 9, 21, 24, 35, 39. Okay, example. And then we have here MH19076. Mark 1 is 9, 24, 26, 35, 37. Okay, so we have like this. Okay. Okay, if you go back to this file .csv, okay, so now we have this information that we just entered just now. AA, MH, okay, this assignment. Okay. Okay, so this is what happened. We have the total mark here. Okay, so here quiz refer to student info 1. Student info 1 in our coding or in our Excel is this one. Okay, student info 1. Okay, this column is for 1, this column is for 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's why when you have this coding, ID refer to student info 0, which is it will refer to this A, column A. Quiz refer to student info 1, it refer to column B. Test 1, student info 2, refer to column C. Test 2, student info 3, refer to this column. Okay. Assignment project 4 and 5, refer to E and F respectively. Okay. And then here, this is just nothing. We just add all the mark, we add quiz, test 1, test 2, assignment and project. And then this one is print. Print, normal print means that we print in our display like this. Okay? Okay? Okay, class? Understand? Okay. Kenapa boleh stop? Sana, sana. Okay. Okay, tak apa. Terima kasih. Okay, kelas. Kelas, nanti bila awak buka balik video ni, kalau ada saya bawa borak tu, awak terima je lah. Sebabnya saya tak boleh nak pause recording. Saya tak tahu kenapa. Tak boleh nak pause pula. Okay. So, faham kelas setakat ni? Understand?
Boleh lah doktor. Kena try buat.
Okay, you have to try by your own, okay? Kalau tengok saja mungkin you, okay, faham. But then, you have to try. And then try to put another wearable ke, okay? Boleh kelas?
Boleh doktor.
Okay. Okay, next is this one. Okay, we have another example. Read from CSV file. For example, we have sales here. Let me close this one first. Okay, this one we have file open. Okay, so this is our variable for file processing. The name is file open equal to, and then we open our file, open sales.csv art. Art means that we want to read. Okay, means that here sales.csv, we already have the data inside sales.csv. We don't need to write the data into this file. We just want to read the data. Okay. For example, you have a sales information from your company. Okay. Diorang dah buat siap-siap semua data in that sales.csv. So they give they give to you, and you want to read the data inside that sales. Okay. Okay. So that's why here we put art. Arts means that we want to read only. Okay, read only. Okay. So, how to read? We have for info. This is your variable. In, okay, you want to read in what? In file open. Okay, in this file. Okay, file open. Sales is your variable. Sales equal to info dot split by comma, means that when we read the data inside our CSV, we will split the data based on comma. Okay. And then we have here item, which is your variable. Item refer to sales 0. Column first. Okay. 0. QTY, quantity, refer to sales 1. Okay. Unit price refer to sales 2. Okay. Means that column 1, column 2 and column 3. Or column A, column B and column C. Okay. And then after that, you're going to calculate the price. Price equal to quantity times unit price. Okay. And then this one you just want to print, or you just want to display it by print. What you want to display? You want to display item, quantity, unit price and also price. Okay. So this is example. You have in your CSV file, pen 180, sales 180, the item 9. Okay. Sekejap mana dia punya file. Saya buka dulu. Okay, this is example. Read sales. Okay, sales.csv. Okay, we go to our file, sales.csv. Okay, we have, bukan. Okay, we have this one. Sales.csv. We have pen. We have 180. The price is 9. Okay. Okay. So, we will have item sales 0, quantity sales 1, unit price, sales 2. So means that for item, it will refer to column A, which is pen, marker, paper or notebook. And then for for quantity, sales 1, which is refer to B, column B. Quantity for pen is 180, quantity for marker is 180, quantity for paper is 170, quantity for notebook is 260. And then next, we have unit per price. Okay, unit price refer to sales 2. Sales 2 means that column C. So, for sales, pen has been sold 9, marker 8, paper 9, notebook 5. Okay? Okay. And then after that, we're going to calculate the unit price. Okay? Okay, so when I run, or you want to debug? Okay, let's debug. Oh, dia tak ni juga. Sekejap semula. Okay. Because we already have the data inside our sales.csv, we just need to read it. Okay. Okay, so kalau tengok tadi semula. Let's debug again. Open sales.csv, read. For info in file, open. Okay, for the first one, it will read the first row, which is pen 180 and 9. Okay, so sales will be read by split. Okay, will be separated by split. Okay, so you can see here. Now sales, we have this one, pen, 180, and 9. Okay. Item refer to sales 0. Sales 0 is pen. Okay. Quantity refer to sales 1. Sales 1 is 180. Unit price refer to sales 2, which is 9. Okay. So you can see here. 9, quantity 180, item pen. Okay. Now, we want to calculate the price. Price equal to quantity, which is 180. The current quantity is 180. Times with unit price, which is 9. So, we get 1,620. And we print item, which is pen, quantity 180, unit price 9, price 1,620. Okay, so we display here. Okay, next, we move to the next looping or the next row, which is row number 2 or index 1, which is marker 180 and 8. Okay, again, it will split by comma. So our cell has this information now. Marker, 180, 8. Okay. Item sales now is 0, marker. Quantity sales 1 is 180. Unit price 2, which is 8. Okay, so we calculate and we print. Okay, so we get this output. Next, we go to the next row for paper. Okay, do the same thing. Paper we split by comma, so we get this list of sales. Paper 170 and 9. Okay. Now, in our sales, for item, we refer to our sales. Sales 0, which is paper. Sales 1, which is 170. Sales 2, which is 9. Okay. So, when we display, we get this one. Okay. Next, we have, do we have any more? Yes, notebook. Okay. So, the same thing. Okay, done. Okay. Okay, class. Understand? So means that right here we want to read. R is read. Read here means that we want to read the data that we have in our file. Okay? Okay, faham class? Okay, class, do you understand so far?
Yes, madam.
Yeah, yes, madam.
Okay. Next, this is occupation. Also, we want to write we want to read. We want to read from our file. We have occupation. Okay, let me show to you. Occupation. Example, read occupation. What is our file name? Our file name is occupation.csv. Okay. Occupation.csv. This one also we already have the data inside our CSV. We don't need to rewrite to write into it. Okay. Okay. So the same thing, except that the file name is different, and we want to read only. Okay. So here we have occupation, Chief Executive Managing Director, Corporate GM, blah blah blah, and then this is the number of apa tu occupation, okay? The number of available occupation code. The number of position, sorry. The number of position. For Chief Executive Managing Director, there are 54,000. For Legislator NEC, no, zero position. Okay. So we want to read this one and we want to write the whole thing here. Okay. So that's why occupation we will refer to 0. Non-employed we will refer to 1. Occupation we refer to column A. Number of employed or number of position we refer to B. Okay. Okay, so when we run, okay, so we have this one. If and total employed. Here, we calculate the total employed equal to total employed plus with non-employed here. Okay. Okay, class. Please do it yourself after this. Okay, boleh class? Tapi I have to give to you. I will give to you this file, sales and occupation. I will give to you. However, you need to do this coding. Okay, boleh class?
Boleh, doktor.
Okay.
Boleh, doktor.
Okay. Next, we move to the next one. Okay, W is means that we want to write. Okay, we want to write. Okay, here we want to write the data. Okay, this part. The total number. Okay, the same example as previous example, except that we're going to write our value that have been that we calculate the total into our file. Okay. It's fine. If you still remember, we have function last time. We have function, we have calculate function, and then we have determine grade function. Okay. Okay. I just add this one. I just add FP file name. Okay. Create the file name, open file, and then I have this file close, and I have this file statement. Okay. Write into file. I'm going to write the number of row, going to write the value, and going to write the total that have been calculated. Okay. Okay. The rest is similar. Okay. The rest is similar as previous example. Okay. If you notice here, we have grade.csv. Okay. So we go back to our folder, grade.csv. Okay, let me delete this one because we're going to write. Okay, we're going to write. Okay, now this file is empty. Okay, so now this file is empty. Okay, enter number of total value to be calculated. Let's say I said 2. Enter the number of total value. Let's say I said 3. Okay, for number 1, 23, 21, 30, 31. Okay, for the second number, let's say I put 25, 27, 30. Okay, so we have this one. Okay, so we go back to our file. You can see here, we already have number 1, number 2, 23, 25, 21, 27, 31, 30, and then the total, 75 and 82. Okay, because we write it here. We write it here. Okay, we write it here, etc. Okay, understand class? Very simple. Even simple, you have to do it. Kalau you tak buat, you tak nampak. Okay, class, understand?
Yep. Yes, doctor.
Yeah. Yeah. How about others? Faris, okay.
Okey, doktor.
Faris Haikal, okay.
Okey, doktor.
Okay, Putri Ezzah, okay.
Okay, madam.
Okay, Shasmita, okay.
Okay, madam.
Yong Hua Ma, okay.
Okey, doktor.
Okay. Okay, so tapi you all kena buat lah coding, okay? Okay, apa lagi Senang je file ni. Buatlah exercise. Itu je lah file. Gitu je. Okay? That's all file. Done. Okay. So now, I want you to do your exercise. First is easy level. For robot arm. Use the file operation. Okay. You add in your robot arm. By implementing file operation technique. You save the robot coordinate and coordinate location in a file. Okay. So means that you create one file. Okay. And then you write your robot coordinate that have been entered by user and also the coordinate location that you have determined into a file. So, I want to ask you, for this exercise, what is the file mode that you need to use? Which one? W plus, read plus. Which one?
W.
W only. Okay, means that you just want to write only. Okay, yeah, correct. Okay, Kevin, correct. Okay, I forgot to mention. Read R plus means that you want to read and you want to write. Okay, but normally we just use this one. W plus, read. Okay. Okay. Next, text system. Text system, I want you to implement file operation, save the employee's info and the calculated file and the calculated text into a file. This one, which one? W plus or R?
W plus ke madam?
W plus, because you want to
Calculate.
calculated text. Save the employee's info and the calculated text in a file. Which one, class? Based on this one, which one? W only. Okay? Because we just want to write the employee info and the calculated text into our file. Okay? But if you want to display, let's say you want to display what have been entered by user into our display, you can use W plus. Okay? You can try to use W plus as well. Okay? Okay, and then last is you want to save the purchase amount and the amount, the discount in a file. This one also you need to use W. Okay. So you have how many exercise already? 1,
3.
2, 3. Okay. Okay. So buat yang ni lah dulu. Okay. Kelas? Boleh?
Boleh doktor.
Okay, we have another 1 hour. I want you to do it now. Submit to Padlet. Okay, before that, I'm going to upload the file into Padlet. Before you do exercise, you must do all the coding inside our notes. Okay, especially for sales, occupation, etc. So let me upload the file first into Padlet. CSV. Apa tadi? Student assessment, bukan. Read kan? Sales and occupation. Oh, tak boleh. Satu. Okay. Okay, I already upload the file, so you can retrieve from here. Okay, you have another 1 hour, so I want you to do, I want you to recoding all this code. Okay, make sure you save in each folder. Jangan campur-campur. Okay, for one coding in one folder, because to make sure you didn't misplace lah your file tu. Okay. Okay. So, I want you to do all these example first before you proceed with this exercise. Okay, boleh kelas?
Boleh doktor.
Okay. Is there any question?